Dear student, myself Rajendra Aseri. I am assistant professor in computer science department at Government Bangalore PG College, Didwana. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about basics of cryptography, various type of attacks which can be done by the attacker, like active attack and passive attack. Now, some attacks on confidentiality, some are attacks on availability, fabrication, interception, attacks on integrity, snooping, spoofing. All these type of attack we have discussed in the previous lecture. Now today we are discussing about various component of a secure crypto system. What basically crypto system? First we will discuss that. In order to make a secure crypto system, what basic components are required. So all these concepts we will be discussing in today's lecture. So first thing you should know, what is a crypto system. So crypto system, as the name implies, which will ensure the cryptography of a message in order to ensure the security of the message. It means if you want to transmit a message or plain text from a sender to a receiver on a channel, transmission channel, in a secure manner, then we require a proper crypto system. So the various components of a crypto system we will be discussing now. First thing, plain text. Plain text means the data or message we want to actually transmit, or which we want to transmit in a secure manner, which we want to hide from intruder or attacker, that is called as plain text. Now next is cipher text. Ciphertext means once we convert our plain text into non-meaningful data, which is known to only intended receiver, then that non-meaningful data or content is now known as ciphertext. Now, one question arises that how we will obtain ciphertext from the plain text. So, in order to do that, we need to apply some certain security mechanism called as encryption and decryption. So if you look here the flowchart, initially we are having what? Plain text we are having. On the plain text we will apply a mechanism known as encryption, which will encrypt our plain text in another form. After the encryption, the output will be known as what? Ciphertext. Now plain text was the, as name implies, it is a plain message which is known, which can be read by everyone in very easy manner, and it is meaningful. But after applying the encryption, now plain text is converted into a non meaningful data in encoded form, that is called as ciphertext. Now this ciphertext will transmit on the channel and it will be received by the receiver. Now at the receiver end, receiver will apply a mechanism known as decryption. Decryption is just opposite mechanism to the encryption. Encryption will encode the message, will convert the plain text into ciphertext, and ciphertext will be applied to the decryption algorithm, which will again converted into plain text. So at the receiver, and again receiver will get the plain text in original form. So sender is sending the plain text and receiver is getting what? Plain text. In between, the mechanism is applied is called as encryption and decryption. Now a crypto system is a five tuple. In these five tuple, P is for plain text, C for ciphertext, E for encryption algorithm, D for decryption algorithm, and key is the secret key, which is used by the encryption and decryption algorithm. The crypto system is a five tuple system such that P is finite set of possible plain text symbol. In plain text we can apply various, there may be various type of symbol. So collectively all the symbols, all the collection of message is known as what? Plain text P. So it is basically finite set of possible plain text symbol. Now C is ciphertext. It is finite set of possible ciphertext symbol. Third is K, that is key space. It is a set of possible keys which is applied in case of encryption. It will be used for the encryption purpose. It will convert plain text into ciphertext, and at the receiver end it is applied on the decryption algorithm, which will take ciphertext and applied this. After applying this key, it will convert ciphertext into plain text. Fourth is E. E is the set of encryption rules. Fifth is D. D is set of decryption rule. Now, once we apply encryption on plain text, it will convert into decryption. It will convert into we can say ciphertext. After that, if we again apply the decryption, it will convert your ciphertext into plain text. So if you look the last equation, first P is the input. On P we are applying what? E, and on E we are applying what? D. So again it will result into plain text, and E and D are encryption decryption, which will use a set of keys known as K here. Now, encryption and decryption algorithms are categorized based on various categories. There are various type of encryption algorithm as well as decryption algorithm. So they are categorized based on three categories. First category is based on type of operation used for transforming plain text to ciphertext. Means how we are transforming our plain text into ciphertext. Various type of operations are used. So based on the operation, there are two category of encryption and decryption algorithm. First is substitution type of encryption decryption, and second is transposition. As the name implies, substitution is, it means we are substituting at place of plain text another alphabet or another symbol. So just substituting a plain text with the ciphertext, it is a conversion. In case of transposition, we are just applying some transposition technique, so that suppose my message is PLAIN, then I am just transposing the alphabets. Yeah, I'm not replacing any alphabet with another alphabet, just P will be replaced. Is now currently at first position, now it may be on third position. A is L is now currently at second position, it can be on fifth position. So we are applying some permutation combination type of things, so it will result into another message that will be known as now ciphertext. So in transposition, same content will be there, but permutation or combination will be applied. In case of substitution, what will happen, your plain text content will be maybe thoroughly fully changed, and every alphabet will be replaced by a new alphabet or symbol. Now next category is encryption and decryption algorithm are categorized based on number of keys. In some encryption and decryption algorithm, we used only one key. In some we used two key or pair of keys we are using. The first one is known as conventional type of encryption decryption. It is also known as symmetric, or we can say secret key or single key. As the name implies, in conventional, at sender and receiver, for encryption and decryption purposes, both the purposes we are using only single key, that is known as secret key or private key. Now here the challenge is that we need to share secret key with both sender and receiver. So we need to transmit, we need to share, we need to transmit our key from sender to receiver also. So there is a security fall maybe arise in while sharing the key. For sharing the key also we need to apply different algorithm is required, like Diffie-Hellman is a algorithm, very well known popular algorithm, which is used to share the key between sender and receiver. Next algorithm based on number of keys are asymmetric algorithm. Asymmetric means It is also known as public and private cryptographic algorithm, or it is two key encryption decryption algorithm. Two key means sender is using public key, suppose public key for the encryption, and public key of what? Public key of receiver, so that at the receiver end, receiver can use its own private key to decrypt the message. So for sender and receiver, different keys are used. So no need to transmit the keys here, but the challenge is that here we require two keys, and for every communication, for suppose 1 and 2, 1 is sender and 2 is receiver. Suppose next time we are using a communication between 1 and 3, then for 3 also we require a different set of private key and different set of public key. Clear? Means 1 is the sender for 2 as well as for 3, but 2 and 3 are having different private key. So for every communication we require what? Different number of rings of keys are required in case of asymmetric. So number of keys are required in case of asymmetric. Now third category is based on the way in which the plain text is processed. Meaning in some algorithms we apply our plain text, we divide our plain text in different small bits or small alphabet, and every alphabet is processed separately. That is called as stream cipher. In some we just combine a set of alphabet in plain text and just make blocks of 8 bit, or it can be of 16 bit, or whole message can be a single block. So it is called as what? Block cipher. So stream cipher apply bit by bit, or alphabet by alphabet, or symbol by symbol, to convert from plain text to ciphertext. But in case of block cipher, it will completely, plain text will completely or block by block converted into a ciphertext. So corresponding block cipher will be result uh, resultant. Now Kirchhoff principle. Now security of a message depends not on the encryption algorithm, it depends upon the secrecy of the key, not depend on the secrecy of the algorithm, because encryption and decryption algorithm is public, it is known to all. But to ensure the security of the algorithm, we require key. So key should be secret, key should be very we can say it should be used using very complex algorithm, so that it is not compromised. In the next lecture we will discuss about various type of categories of the encryption and decryption algorithm. First we will discuss substitution and transposition type of algorithm, and then in upcoming lectures we will discuss symmetric type of algorithm, asymmetric type of algorithm. We will discuss stream and block cipher also. So that's all from this particular lecture. Thank you.